We got Jamila T. Davis in the building, and Mississippi Governor Tate received demands to close the state prison unit there. On Monday, Governor Reeves announced closure of part of the Unit 29 at the Mississippi State Penitentiary at Parchman, where 9 of the recent 12 deaths occurred. There have been a rash of deaths and brutality at this Parchman prison. 29 inmates announced a lawsuit claiming the conditions are unconstitutional, and the inmates have started moving. More than 600 inmates still remain in the unit, according to USA Today. Not all units will be closed. Jamila, you were just in Mississippi?
Yes, I was in Mississippi, and it was just definitely insightful. You're in a place where history tells of racism. We stood, and where we did the rally at, we were facing the Confederate flag.
Which Mississippi still flies. It's still part of their state flag, by the way.
So looking at that state flag, we understood where we were. And we were also understood how we were perceived where we were. But despite that fact, we stood strong with our heads held high.
What was the rally for?
It was to open up our voices and let the people know we're not going to close them until they close Parchman prison.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point of the rally was to let the elected officials know, the governor, the town, the people know, okay, it's turn up time. And turn up time is using your voice and letting people, just letting people know that this enough is enough.
Did you know anyone that was at Parchman?
No, but what happened was, when I got there, I met so many families. Actually, we ended up having lunch in a restaurant of one of the family members whose person actually had a cell phone there. So I got to see him call in the dark. So you know how if somebody FaceTime you now it's light, there's no lights. And he was in Unit 29. And it was so depressing to see that. And him tell what happened and what was going on and how they were so grateful that we were out there rallying on their behalf. And it's just crazy that in 2020, we care more about, the sea, the rivers, and, all kind of...
No, we don't. We don't care about the seas and the rivers.
Well, I mean, I feel as though inmates, and this is my feeling and my good thought, because I've lived it, be just treated like trash. And okay, people make mistakes, but disciplining people in inhumane conditions is just not acceptable.
No. And folks were getting beaten in this prison to death.
Killed.
Beaten to death. And
which city is the prison in?
Mississippi. It was near Jackson. It's Parchman, and it's a part of Mississippi called Parchman, and it's Parchman prison there. Right. So it's not too far outside of Jackson, Mississippi, where we were there at the state capitol rallying. And so to see that they are doing something, now we're not just saying, it's a complete victory, but it was a victory for us to have Unit 29 ordered to be shut down, because clearly what's happening inside is that the electrical and the whatever's going on, the pipes and the plumbing, there's issues. So no one should live there.
Yeah. Right. And just, again, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
We send people to prison for mistakes made or being heinous or horrific, but it's not a place where you can treat people inhumanely, because they're still people. And I think we do have a very twisted view of folks that have spent time.
Yes,
because you live with it.
I live with that stigma, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why I go so hard doing what I do. Because as the formerly incarcerated, you have a double F on your chest. Formerly incarcerated felon. That's what they're thinking of, and they're thinking of piece of crap, somebody who did something wrong, and you shouldn't get a second chance, or people are upset at your second chance, and that's just not love. That's not. People say they love God, and they love all these things, but that is not love. Love is understanding. I'm not saying people should be out here doing the wrong thing, but again, why is that person doing the wrong thing? What's happening? We're in schools every day. I was there today and a little boy was acting up, and I pulled him to the side to talk to him. What's going on? Because a lot of times people who act out, they have emotional issues. There's things happening and going on. So love is what heals.
Yeah.
So was the decision to shut this 29 down in direct response to the rally?
Well, we definitely have been given some credit for it, and I do think rightfully so, because the next steps, and it will still be the next steps, is that we're going to surround the governor's mansion office and not leave. And those things, people talk about rallying and protest and they say they don't mean anything, but they do. We stood outside of MDC. We refused to go home until the lights and the heat came on. And every media outlet in the country ended up in front of that prison. So again, something happens when people align and galvanize and stand up and really stand for something. And that we did, and a couple of days later, we saw the first of the results, and that was Unit 29 being ordered to close by the governor.
Now, I think it's no coincidence that 6 of the 7 highest incarceration rates are in the South. Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, which also has some horrific prisons. Mississippi, South Carolina, and Texas have the highest incarceration rates. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think, it's not just the new Jim Crow. It's the new slavery, because it's where people not only lose their rights, but also their humanity. And it also fosters a certain level of inhumanity among the people there. So when you get out, what's the pathway to success? So I love that Jamila's out there giving folks ways to become construction workers and learn how to run their own businesses. And she's doing financial literacy, and she's helping not just the kids before they get to jail, because the prison, the school to prison pipeline is huge, but also when they get out, there should be I believe if you paid your debt to society, you should not have to check a box.
Yeah, it's rehabilitation. That's the point.
But you're out. You paid your debt. You shouldn't carry that for the rest of your life.
It's bad. And we're actually, Karen, on February 12th, we're starting our halfway house tour. So the team of us are going to halfway houses throughout the country, giving out care packages and hope to the formerly incarcerated coming home. Because a lot of times people don't understand, it's if somebody's kicked you down and told you was nothing for the whole duration of you being behind bars, how can you come home and hit the streets and say, hey, I'm something? So, we're here to tell them, despite what they told you, despite what happened in your past, we love you and there is hope. Here are our stories. This is what we were able to do, and you can do it too. And not only are we going to talk you to death, we're going to give you a little care package so you can remember your friends out there.
Let's talk them to life.
Okay, that's right.
Talk them to life.
Talk you to
That's
life.
right.
I like it.